One popular feature for people using Pressbooks, especially for educational publishing, is to turn on Hypothesis, a free and open source social annotation tool. When Hypothesis is turned on in your book, it allows anyone who's reading the book to view and create annotations, or marginal notes. So for example, here's a literature book where you can see there's a word that's been highlighted. Clicking on the word will expand the browser pane, and I will see a public annotation layer with a note or a comment made on the word Blackhawk. Later down, I can see there's another annotation here that includes an image. Further down, lots more annotations of the poem itself. Some of them have replies. Others include media, like audio or video, links, and more. So if you'd like to turn on this annotation tool in your book, you can do so pretty easily. To activate Hypothesis in your book, come to your book dashboard, and then come to Settings, Hypothesis. You'll see a bunch of available settings for Hypothesis. The first thing you'll want to do is decide whether highlights and the sidebar are open or on by default. I'll say yes, let's turn the highlights on by default, but let's leave the sidebar closed until a user takes action. Then you need to decide where can Hypothesis be loaded. If you're publishing a book in Pressbooks, you'll probably want it on parts, chapters, front matter, and back matter, though you can choose to add or exclude any of those. You could also say I only want it to be active on a specific set of parts or specific set of chapters, or I want it to be disallowed on specific parts or chapters. You need to enter the ID values of individual parts and chapters if you use this feature. It's much more common to just simply select, yes, I want to allow it on these locations. Then we're going to click Save Changes. Once those changes are saved, you'll notice that when you visit your book, for example, if I look at the Push Westward chapter, I'll now see there's an annotation tool available in the right-hand pane of the book. To expand it, I click the Expand button, and I can see there's an annotation sidebar. I can contract it or expand it. Now, when I highlight text, I'll see an option that says Annotate or Highlight. If I click Annotate, the annotation will be brought up, and it will tell me that I need to log in to create an annotation. In order to create annotations, you need a free Hypothesis account. If you've never used it before, click the Sign Up button. On the Sign Up page, you'll need to provide a username and a password. Once you're done, you'll click Sign Up, and you'll receive an activation email. After you click the confirmation link, you'll see an activation page, which has some how to get started tips. Or you can simply come back to your book and now click the Login button and provide your credentials. You'll also see that Getting Started pane here in your first time annotating. To create an annotation, select some text, click Annotate, and then enter the text you'd like to annotate. Annotations can be made bold, italic, they can turn into block quotes, they can receive links, images, math notation, and they can also support adding or mentioning, so mentioning another annotation user if you like. Once you're done creating the annotation, you can add tags and decide whether you want it to be visible only to you or to make it public. In this case, I'll click Post to Public. Annotations can be replied to. To reply to an annotation, click the Reply button. You can also share the link to an annotation by clicking the Share button. This link can be shared with anyone, and it will open the specific annotation you made on your page. This can be really handy if you're teaching a course and want to take a student or a peer directly to a comment that you've made on the reading. In addition to making public annotations, annotations can also be made in a private group that's only visible to people that you invite. To make a private group, click the Create New Group button, and then we'll call this Private English Class, and create the group. I've made a new group called Private English Class, and now I can invite anyone in my class to join the group by copying this link and sharing it with them. Back on my book, you can see I'm going to make a new annotation on this name, and I'm going to click Annotate. You'll notice I'm still in the public layer, but if I'd like, I can now switch it to the Private English Class. I'm now in the Private English Class, and you can see there are no existing annotations anymore on this layer, but I'm going to make a new one. So I've made a new annotation, and I will post it to Private English Class. You can see now, if I were to expand the annotation pane, I see there's only one annotation on this page. It's Major Stephen Harriman. That's the only annotation in the private layer. If I switch back to public, you'll also see there's one annotation. It's Horace Greeley. It's a different annotation. This is showing how you can have many different layers of annotation on the same document. Some public, some in private groups, etc. So that's an introduction to how you can begin to turn hypothesis on and start to do social annotation. You can learn lots more in our guide or from hypothesis videos and help documentation. Hope that's a good start.